Hey, gas prices keep going up and all that good stuff. And again, doing the same thing over and over and over again, hoping for a different outcome is what do they call that? Oh, the White House. Oh, the Biden administration. Exactly. So they're releasing more 100 million barrels. Okay, 180 million barrels from their oil reserves. Cool. What is that good for? From a couple days of oil usage that's out there? Great. That'll really make a fucking dent in things. How about you just, I don't know, rescind that executive order, which you have total fucking authority to, by just letting construction on the Keystone XL pipeline go through? How about stop fucking around with people drilling on federal lands? Because all of these different states, all of that shit is great. They'd be able to just drill wherever the fuck they want, but in order to move any of these resources that you're extracting from the ground, whether it be natural gas, I don't know if there's any oil sands that are in the United States. I think that might be just like an exclusively northern Canadian, northern Alberta thing, but there is oil that can be drilled for. But if you can't move it anywhere, it's all fucking useless. So you need these pipeline infrastructures, and because states are so small, you have to do them within the network of states that are there, especially within the Dakotas that are there. They got to go through, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, and Idaho, and they got to cross a whole bunch of different borders. And because they have to do that, it's regulated by the federal government, and because there's a freeze on any sort of drilling when it comes to using federal lands, that's what you got there, okay? And that's why gas prices are soaring. No, it's not because of the coof, okay? It's not because of Putin, okay? All of this shit was going up because Joe Biden kneecapped it day one when he assumed office, that he was successfully fortified into. All those, unfortunately, just over a year ago. President Joe Biden is announcing Thursday that the United States will release an unprecedented 180 million barrels of oil from the nation's strategic petroleum reserves. Thank God Trump topped those up, because, hey, it wasn't that long ago that America was energy independent. Remember that? Those were fun times. Over the next several months, they'll be releasing said amount of oil. The oil will be put into the market at a pace of 1 million barrels per day. That means absolutely nothing, by the way, and on the average for the next 6 months, starting in May. Cool. What does that do right now that gas prices are just about at a point where the average American is paying just about $5 per gallon, regardless, across the entire nation? Anyways, yeah, just working a much more convoluted tax break that's going to be out there, whatever. And this will come in concert with a release from other countries around the world, according to senior administration officials on a call with reporters ahead of the president's announcement. The administration plans to restock the reserves when oil prices come down. Oh, okay, sure. Where are you going to get that oil from, stupid? Huh? We're all paying attention. Anyways, to prepare for future emergencies and also to provide the right signal to the market. Okay, question. If these are only supposed to be used in times of extreme emergency, what emergency are you covering up for right now? Oh, the intense idiocy from the president. Okay, got it. News of the announcement calls oil prices to plunge Thursday on the oil price nations of OPEC, which includes Russia. Okay, cool. And many other European countries, but Russia, right? Stuck to their existing deal for May output of 432,000 barrels per day. Yup. Just West Texas Intermediate futures for May. May delivery was down $6.06 or 5.62% to $101.76 per barrel, off a low of $100 even and 16 cents. U.S. gas prices remain elevated at an average of, I've oversold it a little bit. It's only $4.22 per gallon, down slightly from the record high of $4.33 reached on March 11th. Oh, that's good. Biden doing a great job. And what else is he doing again? Well, he's encouraging people to drill. Cool, but if they can't do it on federal land and they can't be using that for any natural resource construction and distribution, what fucking good are you doing here, dude? Huh? What do you think? You're just gonna fucking throw the oil in the air and then hopefully the barrel on the other side of the wall is just gonna be there to be opened up and there to catch it? You're just gonna fucking scoop it out of the ground in a bucket and just fucking hoist it? Or you're just gonna use big fucking balloons on spigots to just capture all of the natural gas that you can, tie them off, and then send them off in the air, and hopefully they'll just eventually reach the refinery. Cool. Joe Biden urges oil companies to produce more oil and double down on clean energy. What? Wait a minute. The duly elected president, Joe Biden, delivered another speech about his attempt to reduce the high cost of gas as prices continue to rise, despite his promise to work like the devil to bring them down. Well, he's doing half of that. I'm sure he's probably also in Delaware, or at least on his way at the time that you guys are watching this. Biden urged oil companies to start producing more oil, threatening to punish them if they do not respond. Okay, listen, stupid. How are you going to enforce that? How is there going to be such open meddling from government to private entities? Okay, that doesn't make any fucking sense anyways. And if you aren't rescinding that fucking executive orders, good luck. But he doesn't understand any of this. Fuck. If there's something that hasn't become painfully obvious over the past 2 years, elected officials and political figures at large are some of the most unexceptional 190, 110 IQ individuals that are out there. The people who are just dangerous enough to accomplish their job and unfortunately are in the positions of power that afford them the luxury of accomplishing said dangerous acts. Anyways, Biden urged oil companies, yes, start producing more oil. The president accused oil companies of hoarding federal oil leases. Announcing a new use it or lose it plan. Oh my fucking... He's writing your speech as Judd Apatow. Where he would charge companies more fees if they failed to develop their oil leases on federal lands or take them away. They can put those profits to productive use by producing more oil, restarting idle wells, and producing on sites they're already leasing. Yeah, we know. They could definitely do that. And the fact that oil is trading at over $100 a barrel, you know that they'd love to fucking do that, right? Because there is a huge fucking demand across the entire world right now for natural resources. So why aren't they doing that? Why aren't they doing that? You're not filling in the blanks. That's why I know you're lying, or you're just following ideas that you do not understand. Acknowledge that it took months, not days, to ramp up production, announcing he would release 1 million barrels per oil per day starting in May, which is a month away. I didn't intend on rhyming that much. Anyways, Biden told reporters his efforts to bring down gas prices as much as 35 cents a gallon. Cool, since they've shot up just about 200%. That's nice. President tried to appeal to oil executives' sense of duty, calling it a moment of patriotism. That's nice. We know you're not, so I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish there. I say enough! Enough of lavishing excessive profits on investors and payouts and buybacks, because I know a thing or two about lavishing money on the people that you bought and paid for. Anyways, he urged companies not to take advantage of oil shortages. Okay, wait, so there's a shortage and shit's trading at record highs, but they should put away None of your speech makes sense, dude. There's not time to sit on record profits. That's why we're gonna federalize all of the means of production. I heard a wise man once say that. It's time to step up for the good of our country. Yeah, that's nice. So, instead of rescinding your executive orders in order to make that happen, what are you doing? Well, you're telling people to start drilling as well. Actually, you're forcing them. You're forcing them through the Defense Production Act to produce metals needed for environmental, whatever, EV batteries. Yep. Cool. So, what? You can't afford your gas? Okay, you can't afford that extra $100 luxury? Okay, just buy a $60,000 electric car, stupid. Can't afford gas? Buy an electric car. Okay. President Puppet announced on Thursday his administration plans to lower gas prices for Americans, saying that prices are rising. Okay, due to U.S. sanctions in Russia in the wake of their invasion on Ukraine. Biden calls this Putin's price hike. No. Biden announced a two-part plan, saying that the first plan is to immediately increase the supply of oil by forcing companies to defy logic, reason, and theoretical law. He said that U.S. oil companies need to put their profits and productivity use producing more oil and other mumblefuck things. Biden lashed out at oil companies. That's nice. The second part of the plan is to release 1 million barrels a day, a total of 180 million barrels. So for 6 months, cool. That'll lower gas prices in enough time so people remember to vote Democrat in the primary, I'm sorry, in the midterm election. That's a gaffe that Joe would make. Anyways, yeah, we got 6 months starting in May, so that'll just run magically right through November, huh? Fucking convenient, right? Bet you didn't see that coming. Yeah, remember to vote blue in December or January, or whatever the fuck the election is, so that we can continue to fuck you again for the next 2 years. And we'll just try some other scheme until then. Maybe we'll sick those those darkies from Black Lives Matter on you. Biden claimed also that the world needs to reduce their dependency on oil entirely. Yeah, a nice thought, dude. What do you want to switch to? Nuclear? Oh, sorry. I didn't want to use the very offensive N-word. This top-down approach brings with it federal funding into electric auto industry, including charging stations across the United States for electric vehicles that nobody have. Okay? Because, yeah, Teslas are fucking great. They're nice-looking vehicles, okay? And lots of people in cities have them, okay? Their range is unsustainable for anybody who doesn't live in one of these blue cities, okay? People who live out on the farm, okay, ain't going to be running a Tesla, ain't going to be running a fucking whatever the Chevy equivalent. Who has the Volt? Okay, the Volt, the Leaf, Prius, okay? I'm not seeing fucking a Jim Bob hopping out of his tractor and into a Prius. I don't fucking see that happening. Some people want this weird thing called freedom of choice when it comes to their automobiles. It's just odd. So instead, no, you're just going to plunk down and you just magically think this infrastructure is just going to show up, okay? And that you're going to just have all of these magical fucking charging stations across the country. Yeah, no, all of that stuff's great, but again, we're gonna focus on green energy and we're gonna start, I don't know, sending our own kids to just go pick out fucking TV gold from all the recycling stations that are out there with all of your old electronics. Or whatever the fuck you're going to be using for the lithium batteries, even though there's a vast resource of all of those very rare, very difficult to process, and very toxic to the environment in order to refine. By the way, most of those minerals, the lithium and the different, I don't know, because I don't do near enough work when it comes to electronic technology to fully understand it to break it down, but there are certain minerals that are central in, well, places like sub-Saharan Africa, which could really raise them up a little bit if you would just buy it from them, if you would help out the actual Africans instead of being like California. And we might touch on that next week because they passed some convoluted law for reparations, which might get smacked down by just about every court that'll see it. But regardless, going back to those charging stations, green energy, right? Okay, so you've got to disturb a whole bunch of lands in order to lay the power cables from the stations in order to have these big charging stations, which is fine. Okay, that's great. Those are jobs. Those are good paying jobs, and unfortunately they'd be for the government, but whatever. Okay, regardless, you want to do all of that stuff? Cool, great, wonderful, fantastic. Where does that energy come from? Is it coming from wind? No. You know how much fucking solar or how much wind energy you're going to need to theoretically fund and properly power all of these electric vehicles? A whole fuck ton and more that you could ever get from a fucking windmill, okay? Is it coming from nuclear energy? No, those are going to melt down. We're going to end up like Chernobyl. Sure thing, pal. You continue to live that delusion. You totally could, even those mobile reactors that are out there that are super fucking sweet, super efficient, and could, you know what, hey, something that could fit on the back of a single deck flat bed trailer, okay, that could power a neighborhood for every waking minute of the fucking day. No, you don't want to be discussing any of that stuff because your heads are all still back in the 1980s thinking about nuclear energy. No, that all comes from oil, coal, natural gas, right? And there's nothing wrong with natural gas, and burning oil, okay, and burning coal. There's enough scrubbers and environmental protections in place where there is next to no pollution if you care about that stuff, if you're just so ideologically possessed about climate disaster. So none of that stuff ever gets discussed. No, just plug it into the wall. The electricity comes from the wall, and you're helping save dolphins in fucking Idaho. But yeah, no, Biden will just continue to obfuscate from the actual problems that are out there and continue to blame it on everybody else. Oh, it's all Putin's fault. Listen, sir, it's 2023. Gas prices are just about at $8 per gallon. Russia is still not dealing with this. How is this Putin's fault? It is, trust me. Yeah, okay, cool. We're going to be in this for a long fucking time. And Russia, which is going to be the topic of the next video here, they ain't feeling the squeeze at all. Oh, their economy is going to be collapsing any day now. It's fucking thriving, you mongoloids. With all of that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.